Back again, and happy birthday to Homestuck. Thank you for ruining my brain. Instead of doing a full, proper review of Act 2, I'm going to treat this as more of an addendum to my original video, so part 2 to the Act 1 review. I will be doing a quick story recap, then briefly talk about what Act 2 improves on or goes backwards on, while also giving my personal opinions on it, looking at both acts as their own individual games. So if you didn't watch my Act 1 review, go watch it, link in the description, maybe subscribe too. Okay, I'm done with the self-promotions, time to talk about Act 2, but first, let's talk about FriendSim. Before we get to the main part of the video, we need to talk about the dubiously canon visual novel Hiveswap FriendSim, released throughout 2018. This visual novel was released in volumes to milk you for all your hard-earned dollars, but now can be purchased as a complete experience. This game was teased through the Troll Call website as a part of a setup to Act 2, but in this game you can play through scenarios with 36 different troll characters over 18 volumes, plus an epilogue. I won't cover the epilogue due to Homestuck spoilers, but it doesn't need to be played unless you like character building. Characters like Average Goth E-Girl, Chunk from the Goonies, Tumblr user, Siva Gunner fan, Texas, emo girl that wants to be in childcare.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Carl Fredrickson from Up.
Criminal.
She do be kinda cute though. Richard LaRuna. You know who you are. Average Twitter artist OC. Do not steal. Susie from Deltarune. Future Isekai protagonist. My future wife. Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist. Sharpie Bath in the making. Kinda normal. Weeaboo.
Average Homestuck OC.
Your disappointed father.
I don't like where this is going.
It's because they like to build brown bricks with Minecraft.
Mommy? A janitor.
Fucking magnets, how do they work?
Bugcatcher wants to battle.
Stop it. Get some help.
The hills have eyes. Clown Metaton.
Yeah!
Twilight fan. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Despia lore. FriendSim is your typical visual novel affair. The writing is alright. A common problem I have with all three of these games, and Homestuck as a whole, is the writing quirks of the trolls. Some of these are very frustrating to read, but it still has its funny moments, even having fun failure photos and scenarios. If it's on sale on Steam, I'd recommend it, but it's not needed to enjoy Act 2, as it's, again, not really canon and just adds characterization. So for this game, I'm not going to give it a rating because I feel the score would be too subjective, but I'd recommend it. Now back to the video. We pick up right where we left off. Joey and Zephyros on their way to meet Damek's friend Krydia on her island, but they have to take a bit of a detour to the train station, getting Joey disguised with horns. At the next station, we meet some familiar trolls while getting tickets for the train. This leads to hijinks and fetch quests as we go from car to car, even a Phoenix Wright, Danganronpa style trial segment, and murder clown party, ending in a train derailment like Ohio. Also, we are told that we have 11 days to get back to Earth, or Earth and Alternia will be destroyed, but that's on the back burner. I feel that the plot is much better than Act 1 since we already have an established baseline and can get back into the action faster. We get to see more growth from the two protagonists and the new characters we meet along the way, but we'll get to that in the next section. My main issue with it is that for a roughly 6-hour runtime of the game, there's very little in terms of going forward. While the characters do grow a bit through the game's run, it is really slow and feels like it is running in real time that it takes to play the game. This wouldn't be an issue in other genres, but a lot of the quests feel like filler to pad out the game, so I can't apply for a refund. Looks like a lot of games with 2 in the title try to do this. In terms of the characters, they are a massive improvement from the first game. Joey and Zephyros are a great pair for back and forth conversation, Zephyros growing more into his own person and Joey learning to mature and face the harsh reality that is troll life on Alternia. The trolls, however, are a bit of a mixed bag. A lot of them are great. Some of my favorites are L-Word, Tagora, and even the sort of chaotic neutral antagonist of the game, Marvis. In terms of design, most of them are pretty distinct, while some of their names escape me because Andrew Hussey hates all of us. There are some things that are pretty clear references to Homestuck, such as all the Purple Bloods being clowns, somewhat a jab at the community if you understand the reference. I can feel the Sharpies all around me. Despite the characters being separated into their blood pillars, they are all distinct and almost exclusively sociopaths or psychopaths as you go up the hierarchy, especially the clown car. We are truly in Clown Town. The standard gameplay is exactly the same as Act 1. You click to walk and interact with objects. There are some cool nuances to the system, such as Joey being the only one who can use the hint system, or the ability to import your items from the first game. This doesn't have a massive influence, minus some small alternative routes and achievements. I have two major issues with the game. The first one is that most of the game's objectives are fetch quests. You go from one troll to the next, then talk to another, and do the whole thing over again. Some of them are well written and funny, but the repetitive tasks really kill the mood and feels like it's there because the writers couldn't think of enough for a full act and stretch the game out. Then there's the trial segment. The trial makes up a majority of the game. Inspired by games like Ace Attorney and Danganronpa, you're tasked with solving an overall meaningless mystery of who stole Smut Book, the sacred Jedi text. It is somewhat fun, but it drags on because you have to interview everyone in the car and exhaust all of their dialogue options. I feel this could have been avoided if they let us do the trial without all the evidence and testimony and add more game over scenarios, but it is a good change of pace to make this act stick out from Act 1 and hopefully later installments. Like Act 1, the soundtrack for Act 2 and even the soundtrack for Friendsim are phenomenal. Composed again by James Roach and Toby Undertale Fox, but also joined by Clark Powell. Each area has a unique soundtrack, and I love the small attentions to detail like the in-between cars mixing the different versions of the music, changing instruments and tones to represent the hierarchy of blood colors. Please go check out these soundtracks on Bandcamp. You desperately need to listen to them. In conclusion, I think there's some good and some bad with this game. I like the overall changes to the gameplay loop, like the trial segments, and the soundtrack and character development is miles above what Act 1 had, but where it excels there, it lacks in literally everything else. Fetch quests can work, but there's only so much you can do to make it interesting. I really hope that Act 3 will drop the fetch quests and do more segments like the trial, or actual puzzles so I forget that I'm doing a fetch quest. My final score for Act 2 is an 8 out of 10, moving up to a B. That will do it for this retrospective that I'm doing on Hiveswap. Will we see Act 3 soon, or ever? If it does, I'll cover it because I enjoyed this, even with my complaints towards it, and makes me want to give finishing Homestuck another shot. Maybe I'll do a review and dissection next year for the comic anniversary. Until next time, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.